pana Donalda Tuska.
Poland's pro-European coalition government, led by Prime Minister Donald Tusk, secured a crucial vote of confidence in the Polish parliament, winning 243 votes in favor and 210 against. This vote came at a politically sensitive time, just days after the government suffered a major blow in the presidential runoff election, where Tusk's preferred candidate, Rafał Trzaskowski, was defeated by nationalist contender Karol Nawrocki. The outcome of the parliamentary vote now offers a temporary reprieve and a renewed sense of legitimacy for Tusk's administration, which had been facing internal friction and external doubts. Although Tusk's coalition controls 242 seats in the Sejm, the 460-seat lower house, the loss of the presidential race led to tensions among smaller coalition partners, some of whom questioned the direction and cohesion of the government. With the presidency now in the hands of a political opponent with veto powers, many began to worry about legislative gridlock and the future viability of Tusk's reform agenda. However, the successful confidence vote signals that the majority in parliament remains intact and committed, at least for now. In remarks following the vote, Prime Minister Tusk described the result as a clear message to critics and allies alike. This vote puts an end to speculation about the future of this government, he said, adding that his cabinet remains determined to carry out its mandate. Tusk reaffirmed his government's priorities, including strengthening ties with the European Union, modernizing institutions, and restoring democratic norms that were, according to him, weakened under previous nationalist administrations. Tusk also addressed concerns over the recent presidential election, noting that while he would not contest the outcome, there were reports of possible irregularities in certain polling stations. He called for a thorough investigation, not to overturn the result, but to safeguard democratic standards and ensure transparency in future elections. This careful positioning allowed Tusk to raise doubts without directly challenging the legitimacy of the president-elect. The loss of the presidency to Nawrocki represents a significant challenge for Tusk's coalition, as the president in Poland can veto legislation and has influence over judicial appointments and foreign policy. Nonetheless, Tusk emphasized that his government would remain focused on its legislative agenda and on delivering results to regain public trust. He also appealed for unity within the coalition, urging partners to look forward rather than dwell on the defeat. The vote of confidence thus serves as both a symbolic and practical turning point. While it does not erase the difficulties posed by a divided government, it provides a foundation on which Tusk hopes to rebuild political momentum. It also sends a signal to domestic and international observers that, despite recent setbacks, Poland's centrist, pro-European leadership remains stable and ready to govern. In the broader context, this episode underscores the deep polarization of Polish politics, where ideological divides between pro-European centrists and conservative nationalists continue to shape the country's future. With a hostile president and a fragile parliamentary majority, Tusk's government will now face the difficult task of navigating legislative battles, maintaining coalition unity, and keeping public support, all while defending democratic institutions and pushing forward with reforms.
Stwierdzam, że Sejm Rzeczypospolitej Polskiej wyraził wotum zaufania Radzie Ministrów. Dziękuję Państwu bardzo.
Tusk expressed optimism that the result would help his government regain momentum and focus, following a period of political uncertainty and internal coalition strain. In a statement to the press following the vote, Tusk said the outcome should end speculation about the government's future, assuring the public that his administration remains committed to delivering on its promises. He also pledged to work toward rebuilding trust among Polish citizens, acknowledging the disappointment and frustration caused by the presidential defeat. Tusk again called for an investigation into potential irregularities reported at certain polling stations during the presidential vote. However, he made it clear that he does not intend to challenge the legitimacy or the outcome of the election, instead stressing the importance of protecting the integrity of democratic processes going forward. With 243 lawmakers voting in support and 210 against, the vote reaffirmed the government's majority in the 460-seat Sejm. The result not only provides Tusk with renewed political backing but also signals that his coalition, despite recent tensions, is still cohesive enough to move forward with its agenda. The confidence vote came after the coalition's candidate, Rafał Trzaskowski, lost the June 1 presidential runoff to nationalist Karol Nawrocki, raising concerns about the president's ability to veto legislation and block reforms proposed by the government. Despite these challenges, Tusk's administration appears determined to move ahead with its pro-European policies, aiming to navigate the complexities of governing under a president from the opposing political camp.
Wynik tego głosowania.
Dziękujemy bardzo. Panie premierze, czy żałuje pan powoływania się na Jacka?
Opublikujemy informację szczegółową i opublikujemy wszystkie odpowiedzi na wasze wszystkie pytania. Mówiąc o wzroście nakładów na zbrojenia, nie chodziło o...
Głosowało 493 osób, za jest 243, przeciw 210. Nikt się nie wstrzymał. Stwierdzam, że Sejm Rzeczypospolitej Polskiej wyraził wotum zaufania Radzie Ministrów.
For political thing in Poland.
If he wouldn't succeed.
What happened today is clearly a result of the last presidential elections, where, as we all know, the candidate of the ruling majority lost.
In the result, to calm down all these emotions, Prime Minister had to do something, and
Many of the voters apparently went to the polls to show to the government at least yellow, if not even the red card. I had a feeling that today it was only an attempt to buy some more time for the current government and for the current prime minister. Apparently, he didn't said anything that much new. Of course, there was a very short time for any more developed preparation as well for him. He presented some new promises, very, very broad, very, very, very general ones. And then also promised that there will be some internal reshuffle, internal changes within the government, but apparently it's just aiming to buy some more time.
it was not decided because the difference was too small, and then their final results.
I don't think that this voting will change the mind of Poles that significantly. Probably more important will be what will happen next in the following weeks, actually, before the summer season really starts, because probably this is the most important now aspect. If the government will be actually will have the power to stay as it is, also not fall apart, and also to prepare another activities, especially the budgetary law. So the project of the new budget for the following year.
Only an attempt to buy some more time for the current government and went to the polls to show to the government and his role as a leading person in this government.